So jumping into a quick recap. Last time, you won Bloody Knives. Chubbs was victorious. You saved Petra from bleeding out, from getting chomped. You befriended the tiefling, Tanola, that helped him momentarily by summoning a cloud of darkness. And Tao brought up afterwards, he said how out of place and like how unprepared you all kind of seemed for dealing with such magic. And you know that you're getting into more and more dangerous situations. You're encountering people with various abilities. You have a little bit of time at breakfast to kind of catch up or discuss your plans, either for plan of attack at the Shiver production place or what you're going to do after. So why don't we just jump back into that before we jump to the board. So you guys are at breakfast before you head out. What do you do? Or what do you talk about? Tao, did you have anything on your mind?
I was just clearing my throat, trying to get in character here. I was choked because I'm trying to think like how he talks, and I don't do it 90% of the time. But and I can't remember week to week. But I think we need to prepare before we do this next mission. Stakes are getting higher. This place is going to be guarded. Do we have what we need?
All we need to do is send the Shark Boy in, and we win. Just don't stand by it.
Well, in that case, I think I've got all I need.
I think Tao has a point. I certainly was not prepared for that last encounter, and I seem to be ending up on the ground of wherever our battles are taking place more than I'm standing these days.
What do we have money for? We're very poor.
Maybe we should ask Petri what this place is like.
He looks over from his bowl of oatmeal and he says, well, it's like what you would expect a laboratory to be. It's an alchemist shop, and there are large vats of the shiver being produced in various stages. And then there's usually quite a few of the boys, the little lambs as they're called, running around, running errands or getting supplies or moving things to the next stage. So, I mean, I don't know about prepared or trapped or whatnot like you're talking about. I've been in there many times. It's just a normal apothecary. Just a couple rooms, and there's a little farm out back so they can grow some of the herbs and spices that are used in the concoction.
What's the security look like at this facility?
Well, I don't think they really need much. We're in a safer part of town, but as you've seen, they usually have some shiver on hand, and the boys are all well trained with it. So if things get hairy, they're prepared to transform and defend. And then he kind of eyes Chubbs and scoots a little further away from him. And he says, yeah, you might be a little surprised if things go down.
And in your experience, being at this facility, how would you recommend we keep things from going down?
Well, I'm not really sure. I mean, there's a back door There's the front door. That's about it. There's a few windows, but they're hardly big enough to even squeeze through. Maybe the little one here, he could squeeze through, but no one else could. So we really just got the 2 doors to choose from. And they're working as often as they can. And I don't know what their downtime would be or when they're resting and when they're not. It's just all the windows are shuttered as often as they can. Can you guys roll a sense?
It seems from the...
Can you roll like a sense motive?
Sense motive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can call it out if you got higher than like a 15 or so.
22.
Sorry.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, with those rolls, you can tell he doesn't really seem to know much about the operations. He kind of talks as if he knows all about it because it was his uncle's place. But for someone who should be intimate with the details, he doesn't really seem to know much about the location. Like, he's probably been in there a fair number of times, but he doesn't know how many people, doesn't know the hours that they're working.
Well, fellow party members, seems from what we're being told, two entrances. Seems not much in the way of maybe detailed operations. I wonder, maybe rather than trying to fit in here or cause a commotion, maybe our best bet is approaching some kind of a random inspection sent from the higher-ups. A couple of us go in and survey the place under the guise of trying to understand what's even going on here. We could say the quality of the product. What do you think?
Do you think that these drug manufacturers have enough infrastructure for random inspections? If so, I think that's a great idea.
If we say that with all the kind of commotion up top recently and disappearance of the pauper, maybe it's an opportunity for us to leverage that, right? Been some disruptions and not clear who knows what, so they've been sending out inspections across the board.
I'm not sure if we should talk about the pauper. He wanted to lay low. But the drug is stronger now. Maybe we can see how the operation is, how much supplies they're using.
Petrie's brightening up at this, and he says, This could work. Lately, the boss has been more secretive. He's been coming out less and less. I haven't even seen him in forever. Gadrin hasn't been around in, I don't know, maybe weeks. So perhaps he's bringing in new allies. Perhaps he doesn't trust the people that are working for him, or he thinks that someone is revealing information to outsiders.
Interesting. It's so potential that there's fear and uncertainty abound, maybe?
But how do we get to Lamb? I know we came to the drop last night because we wanted to disrupt the supply and we found Petrie. But how does going to this new place, how does that get us to Lamb? Does Petrie, do you know? Where's Lamb?
I've never seen where he resides, but I do know who would know. If Yargren's there, he would know. He's his right-hand man.
Yargren would not know why it would be. How could we trick him? He probably knows more than we.
He might. Though, as of late, he's been complaining more and more about Gadrin and sending strange ravens that he never had access to before. I don't know where they're going. So maybe Yargren's not as pleased.
Where have you encountered these ravens?
Oh, Yargren keeps some in the room in the back, and he sends them out the windows periodically. I've never seen any of the messages. So, do you guys feel like you want to jump back in to the map, or anything else you want to ponder through?
We ended last week with, we heard like the two guys out front that were saying something to one another?
Yeah. So how about we jump back to the map? So, jumping back down there, you're outside of the apothecary, and here we go. So you come upon a scene in the distance down the street. You see a goblin who is dressed in fancy clothes, fancy traveler's clothes, and he is trying to pry at a lock on a chain around a dire rat. But instead of the dire rats that you've seen before, either in the town or sewers that are pretty common, or like what you guys just saw at the warehouse, as kind of like mangy, disheveled, kind of gross, huge buck teeth. This is a really pristine and well-kept dire rat. So you come up close enough and you're able to hear the goblin say, he's like, "Oh, Glort's gonna get you out of this. Glort, get you out of this. Gotta get you away from bad man. He's very bad. Oh, gotta hurry before they try to poison you." And that's what you hear from afar. If you guys get closer, you might be able to hear more.
Yeah, sorry, I'll walk over that way.
Okay. Now that you guys have gotten closer and you're right in front of the front door, which is right here, you see a sign over the door that says Flask and Cauldron. Now that you're a little closer, you see the goblin doesn't seem to notice you, but he does seem to be constantly looking up at the door. And he's got a file. You can see that he's trying to file on the lock. And he just keeps muttering to himself.
This is a different door than the front door we're looking at?
No, he's looking at the front door.
Okay.
And he's also looking, you see him kind of like just nod his head up to here, to the front door, and then also nods his head towards the backyard. And he just keeps muttering to himself, "Gotta hurry, Glort, gotta hurry." And everyone roll perception.
He doesn't notice us.
He doesn't, no. Or if he does, he doesn't care.
22.
Okay, 22, that's definitely enough to know. You hear a bunch of locks on this front door being unlocked. And they're very loud, so they must be very large locks. And Glort must hear them too, because he goes, "Oh no! Not enough time! Not enough time!" And he scurries and disappears. He jumps over, looks like a small fence, into the backyard. What do you guys do?
I'm going to move out of sight, or try to. It looks like, I guess, is there a space up here where the goblin was, right? I guess I'll try to move around that corner.
So,
Up in that area?
yeah, once you get closer, you see that there is a fence, which you could jump over if you wanted to. It's just like a 6-foot-tall fence. You see that he must have scurried over, and you hear him panting on the other side of it, pressed against the wall.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and jump the fence.
Okay. And Petri stuck with Tao because he doesn't want to be anywhere near Chubbs. You guys are all staying out there. Oh, Treha, you going to the door?
Away from Chubbs.
Gotta get away from me.
Who would attack a kindly old lady?
And the door just happens to be away from Chubbs.
So are you jumping the fence?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump the fence.
Okay, do a climb check. Do a climb or acrobatics. Acrobatics, you can kind of like run up the wall and go over, but climb if you just want to climb over it.
21 acrobatics.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's easy enough. And you now see a little more of the backyard. And you see the goblin. He's just pressed against the wall and crouched.
Yeah, I'm gonna greet the goblin and be like, "Oh there, traveler. I couldn't help but overhear you." I'll kind of in a whispered tone, just since he's clearly concerned. Couldn't help but hear that you were concerned by the door locks jingling there. What gives you consternation here?
Yes, please, quiet, Longshanks, quiet. Just be quiet. Must save oatmeal. We must save oatmeal. And at that, the door opens up, and you see, looks like a young lad come out, and he's holding a large potion. And he walks out. He sees Treha out front, and he looks at you as the door closes behind him, and you hear it start to lock up a little bit. He looks over at Treha, and he says, "Move along there, beggar lady. We don't need your kind in these streets."
Oh, you haven't come before me then, sir.
He just spits on the ground next to you. He says, "If you're still here when I get back, there'll be trouble."
Oh, well, I know.
So he walks
She
over.
clutches her pearls.
He walks over to the dire rat, and he pulls out a small bowl, and he puts it on the ground, and then he pours the potion into the bowl, and then he grabs the head of the dire rat and then shoves it down into the bowl and makes it drink. And then he kind of like looks up at it for a little bit, and then paces about. He looks over at Chubbs, and he's like, "What are you doing here, street urchin? Get out of here, run along."
Okay, sorry. Did the whole potion go into the bowl?
Yeah. He poured the whole thing in there, and he's just forcing the dire rat's head down to drink until it's all gone.
Okay. Yeah, I was just trying to buy some street schnitzel.
Yeah, this is a very marketable spot. Also, isn't that like animal abuse or something?
I'll show you half-orc abuse if you stick around too much longer. And with that, the dire rat has finished the potion and then collapses on the ground and starts twitching, and with its feet up in the air.
That didn't look very nice.
The young lad, he he's just kind of pacing about for a moment. And then the rat stops twitching and then slowly gets back up. And the lad lets out a little sigh of relief and walks back over. And he says, seriously, if I see you around here, crone, next time I'm out, there'll be trouble. And he knocks on the door. There's a little peephole that opens up. And he says, yeah, let me in. He lived. It's good. The door unlocks, and then he goes back inside. And then it locks up again.
Does the dire rat look different in any particular way? Does it, like, have glowing eyes or something now?
No. It seems to be breathing pretty heavily, as if it just ran a lot, but seems to be fine other than that. It's... Yeah. So the goblin looks up at Zario and he says, Glort's so happy that we weren't found out by Longshanks. Please help Glort. Free Oatmeal. Oatmeal's good rat.
And slow down there, partner. We might be able to help you out, but first, tell me what's going on. How does Oatmeal need saving? Who is Oatmeal?
Oatmeal is friend. Oatmeal saved Glort long time ago, and Glort want to repay the favor, but they took Oatmeal. They used him. They used him for their evil potions. They poisoned Oatmeal. He doesn't die, and then they poison him more. It's awful. We must free Oatmeal.
What kind of potions are they giving him?
Oh, Glort don't know. Longshanks up to trouble. Glort don't mess with Longshanks. Not anymore. Glort learn lesson. And you see his big floppy ears flop down over his head, and he looks like really chagrined and just downtrodden. Please help Glort. Glort can't free Oatmeal. Glort been sneaking over here for days, ever since Glort found out. But Glort can't seem to pick lock.
Well, my fellow companions here may be able to help you. But who is this? Who'd you say, Longshank fellow?
Yes, you Longshanks. Please, free Glort, free Oatmeal. Glort go with Oatmeal. And with that, you see he scampers up the wall and just runs up it real fast and then flies over the top and then lands back down and starts trying to shave the lock open.
Where's the... I'm not seeing where's the lock that he's trying to get open?
It's just around his neck. You can see it's a very large lock around like a big chain.
Oh, around the rat's neck?
Yeah, the neck. Oh,
Oh, got it.
So the rat can't seem to move very far. He's chained up to the wall with a big, thick chain.
Sorry, I've got some pretty good disabled device. I guess I'll go ahead and maybe try to acrobatics back over the gate and help him out.
All right. Okay. With a 9, you slip on some moss as you run up the wall. There's some ivy or something growing on there, and it scuffs up on your boots, and then you just collapse in a heap. So you make a fair amount of noise, and for just a moment, you think you hear someone inside, like, open a window, and then they close it back up.
Well, that was embarrassing. May have to try that again, but a little bit quieter, hopefully. give it one more attempt here.
Okay. There you go. Up and over. All right.
Lord, I may be able to help your friend here, but before I do so, I'd love to know, what is this lock doing?
They've just Longshanks have trapped Oatmeal. See? And he points at the lock around the neck. He's just holding Oatmeal's neck in place. And
What will Oatmeal turn into if this lock were to be removed?
Oatmeal no turn into anything. Oatmeal. Oatmeal turn into Oatmeal. And then you see he just flops against Oatmeal, and Oatmeal just kind of leans back against him.
We'll do a sense motive just to see if I noticed anything. Not with that, I ain't.
Yeah, with your 9. No, he seems to be telling the truth.
Oh.
Anyone else doing anything? I see a few of you still out in the street. Tao's hiding in the other alley.
Just kind of watch out since being an old lady.
Nice.
Nice.
Chubbs rolled a nat 20 for his sense motive. So as you approach and you're hearing Glort talk, he seems very genuine. And as you get closer, Oatmeal just reaches up to you, Chubbs, and licks your cheek in a playful manner.
Oh,
What a sweet dire rat.
I mean, you already have a hippogriff. Why not add a animal companion?
Well, Chubbs, he seems to have taken a liking to you.
And
That's a shame that this animal has to be treated like this.
Tao, you rolled a 19 perception. With that, you can hear just a little bit of chatter inside. The walls are pretty thick, but you do hear a few different voices talking back and forth about how successful this batch is. You can tell that they're very excited. There's something really special about it.
And is there anything over the fence that I can see?
Over the fence, you think you see some clothes or a humanoid or something in the street, but you can only just see little bits of it unless you jump over the fence. Acrobatics or climb to get over the fence.
No, I'm staying on this side.
Okay. All right. So what do you guys do with Glort and Oatmeal?
I guess Sari will look at Chubbs and say, well, I suppose I can attempt to get this lock off.
I think we
Any reason not to?
this could Oatmeal. Is that the rat's name? I'm
Glort
supposed to know this.
Glort nods up and
Glort.
down. Yeah, he says, Yes, little Longshanks is right. Oatmeal is his name.
Was Oatmeal always a rat?
Yes. Oatmeal, always Oatmeal.
Okay.
Have
I
you...
wanted to make sure it wasn't someone perpetually in a fit.
No fit. Fit only for Oatmeal. Tiny Longshanks, always Tiny Longshanks.
Okay, I'm gonna clumsily try to pick the lock myself. Wait, is there a negative to failing?
Yeah.
No.
If you roll really poorly, you can break something and jam up the lock.
It wasn't super.
Yeah, fortunately you did not jam up the lock with your 7, but you did not pick it.
Whoops.
Chubbs,
Okay,
you
that
may
looked
want to
like.
let a professional attempt this. Zario kind of steps on and tries to block him in there. Here we go.
Wow. A 30?
Wow.
Just wave your hand and it pops up.
Wow. So, okay, actually, so with the 30, it is probably the most difficult lock you've ever tried to pick. But after a time, you are able to finally figure out how the mechanisms are working and how you can move the pins about. And eventually you do hear the satisfying click. And then the lock comes undone. And then you see Oatmeal, he flops against you, and then he starts kind of just like rubbing his head against your leg. Aw, see? Oatmeal love Longshanks. So now,
Is he calling me Longshanks?
is that what you say? Are you saying
You
that
just
too?
said Oatmeal loves Longshanks?
See? Oatmeal loves Longshanks. And then Oatmeal's just rubbing his head up and down on your leg, and then he starts licking at your hands.
Yeah, so Zario will look at Galore, he's like, wait, are you saying I'm Longshanks?
Yes, Longshanks. Longshanks, very good at picking locks. Glort, no good.
Was terribly confused there earlier, and this makes much more sense now.
Yes.
Zario's... Oh, I was going to look at the lock. Do I notice anything unique about it or anything like that from a spell? I guess I could use a spellcraft maybe to identify anything.
No,
I should have done that first.
Yeah, it's not magical. I mean, you spent enough time picking at it now. It's just a master lock. Someone put a lot of time and money into trying to keep this rat. And you are wondering, you're like, well, why? Yeah, why would they keep it out here, not inside? Then, if they really want to keep it.
So what else can you tell us, Claude? We've clearly removed the lock for you, and what's next?
Ooh. Next is Longshanks left to own devices, and Glort take Oatmeal, and we go find his favorite treat.
And what might that be?
Oatmeal. Why else would I call him Oatmeal? He loves the stuff.
Well, I was hoping before you depart that you might be able to help us understand anything about this building here.
Oh, building full of Longshanks. Tiny windows. Glort try to sneak in, get keys. But always someone awake and working on big vats. Tiny Longshanks, big Longshanks, all bigger than Glort. And you see Glort's only about 2.5 feet tall, so basically anyone would be taller than him.
What's happened the last times that you've tried to sneak in? Have you been caught?
No. Glort very stealthy. And it seems very impossible that such a thing could be true, because he's wearing very flamboyant traveler's clothes. And he's got big floppy ears.
Well, was going to say, Chubbs, do you think you'd be able to sneak in, or maybe we should enlist the services of Glorf here to see if maybe he has a better chance of attempting it if we were to create a distraction?
I mean, you just told me to leave it up to the professionals. So I'm on board with the distraction.
Yes, the lock I did, and but when it comes to matters of the tiny and short, you are clearly experienced above all.
I am the top of the tiny people. And then I look down at the goblin. Demi-human, or subhuman, and snort.
Yes, tiny Longshanks, very tall.
This still sounds like a pretty rough scene for me. I don't want to blow my cover if I mishandle anything. You know what I'm saying?
Small Longshanks do look lots like other small longshanks that work inside. Maybe you work with them.
Do I work with these guys?
You do now? Just take Shiver if you get found. Kill everybody.
They take Shiver. They kill me.
Oh, yes.
Whereabouts in the building are those keys stored, Glort? Where might we, if we were to sneak in, what would you recommend?
Well, there's a back door in the garden. There is small window above the bedroom. That's where Glord has snuck in and tried to get keys, but could not seem to get any keys. There were always too many longshanks walking about.
Yes, so maybe if Short Longshanks were to go in there and pretend to fit in with the rest, he might have more success at snagging them.
Perhaps, but oatmeal already free. What more do we need? We got oatmeal. And then he hugs Oatmeal around the neck. And Oatmeal's tail just kind of wraps around him.
We were told there's quite a supply of oatmeal in there. You could potentially help us liberate said oatmeal. We'd give you a solid cut of that.
How about you roll a bluff check? All right, 18.
Bad.
Moderate.
Yeah. Glort
With
looks...
a -1.
Yeah, it's not bad. This is pretty darn good. Glort looks up at you and he says, lots of oatmeal. Longshanks do tend to have oatmeal. If longshanks cause commotion in front, Glort sneak in window in bedroom and find oatmeal. And then
but if you could let us in, we could help you transport the oatmeal better. So if you could somehow open the front or the back door, that would be optimal.
Oh, but longshanks here pick locks. Pick locks to oatmeal.
Or if you could distract them away from the front or the back door while we get inside and pick the lock,
Oh, Longshank's crafty. Yes. Glord could distract. Glord could distract by going in back, and Longshanks here pick lock.
Would
Yes,
not
I
have said
could
it.
probably even disguise myself to look like maybe someone bringing chubs in or something of that nature.
Glord don't know who Chubbs is, but Tiny Longshanks here looks like he could do.
Oh, yes. I meant Longshanks here would accompany Tiny Longshanks here. Kind of elbows Chubbs.
Fine. Do it.
Yes. So, Longshanks want Glord to make commotion in the back?
Yes, I think let us get situated and then we'll give you the signal.
Excellent. And Glort hops on top of Oatmeal. And then they start climbing up the wall together. And Glort says, "Okay, signal is yell oatmeal." He starts moving around towards the back. Okay.
And just to clarify, Petri, his goal, he was obligated to bring us to
Yeah.
the apothecary, right? Was he? He's not obligated to do more, is he?
Nope. That was the contract. So actually, as you're saying that, Tao, he looks at you and he looks at the establishment and he says, well, it looks like everything's all in order here. And he holds out his arm and you see flaming letters on his arm begin to fade into the air, as well as on your arm. Looks like everything's gone according to plan. I wish you all the best of luck. I'm sure you won't need it. You've got that little monster in your group.
Where do you go now?
Well, I think I'm going to go back to that tavern and see if Tanola will have a drink with me. I'm just happy to be alive after all of this.
But what will you do now? Lamb may not trust you.
I would count his days as numbered if you all are on his trail. So I suppose I'll look for new work. That seem fine to you?
What does Lamb have on you? Why did you work for him?
Well, he gave me lots of gold. And I wasn't doing a whole lot at the time. I was just washing beakers and vials for my uncle. So working for Lamb meant a lot more gold coming my way. But, win some, you lose some.
So wouldn't you want to stop us?
Stop you? I've seen what you all lot get up to once you put your minds to it, and that boy snorts some shiver. I don't want to be anywhere near you when this all goes down.
Tao looks over at the other group, and he just kind of shrugs his shoulder and points to Petri, kind of motioning that he's going to maybe, a hand wave like he's going further away, like he's walking away, and seeing if any of them have anything they want to add. But Tao, while he's waiting for them to, if they're going to say anything, he's just going to tell Petri, don't cross us.
I wouldn't dream of it. I'm not a fool.
I hear sharks have a good smell for blood. And this one has tasted yours already.
And he breaks out in cold sweats, and he starts to back away. He's like, wouldn't dream of it. You lot are all mad. You'll either be the death of yourselves or Gadrin, but either way, I don't want anything to do with it. It just starts backing away.
May the stars guide you.
Yes, stars. And Desna's light shine on you, or whatever they say. And then he starts jogging up the street and disappears. Okay, you guys getting in position?
Yeah, can we review what our roles are each for this?
Yeah.
I think we said Xario and Chubbs were going to go in. There'll be a distraction from Glort. What about the rest of us?
So is our goal to get to the right-hand man or to get to something else in here? Or are we just kind of looking around?
So you've been told the right-hand man is likely here.
Looking for Yargrin. I think Petri said something about Yargrin is that might be here.
Mm-hmm.
So we could even go in and call out for Yargrin, or somehow say we need him. Just to see who, so we can identify. I don't think we asked Petri what he looks like, but maybe in hindsight we would have. Tal runs up the road and asks Petri, what does it look like?
You catch him. He's stopped to tie his shoes just up the street, and he's like, damn, you, he's, well-dressed, fashions himself as a nobleman, even though he's, poor and broke like the rest of us. He's maybe middle-aged and wishes he was a scholar or wizard or some sort, or he's really just a fancy dandy boy. But he's very good at making shiver. He's going to be the only one in there that, if he's around, can read and write and talk coherently. The rest of them are not at all trained in any sort of fashion. What more do you want to know?
What's he afraid of?
I don't know. Gadrin, probably? What's anyone afraid of? I don't really know the man. He keeps to himself, or he goes out and tries to be fancy with rich folk. He plays at such things. I've never shared his company.
Tao just kind of nods his head and jogs back. Shares that with the group. And so Oatmeal and Glort, they're going in the back door, right?
Yeah, they're going to make commotion in the back so that people will have to try and chase after them or deal with them in the back. So you'll have the front to yourselves.
When I hear that the workers are uneducated and barely literate, I say, my kind of people, I should fit right in.
And there was a lock, he said, to get to the keys, right?
Well, so the door's all locked up. And then someone has keys inside that would have worked for the lock out here, but you already picked it, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But
Did he say how many people were working here?
Okay. Multiple. That's all you know.
Gotcha.
Yes, I think if there's no actual lock to pick, we probably just send Chubbs in solo.
Well, there's the door's locked.
Oh, okay, yeah. But I mean, once that's picked.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like there's a 2/3 chance I either get killed or kill myself on this mission.
If we just send Chubbs in there by himself, that might be a little rough.
That's true. I can disguise myself so at least that I'm not standing out as this flashy dude inside of the place.
Yeah. You'd be the new Kenneth.
I say we charge in like a stampede.
Like a stampede of purple dinosaurs with top hats?
No, don't touch the stuff. Charge in and with your weapons and surround everyone. We can knock away the powder before they take it in. Everyone find a man.
I don't think I'm going to be mugging him. I'm not very good at that.
Cubs, stay clear of the rest of us. We'll each find another person. Or at least,
You go man, I'll play zone. I'll just get in the paint in the middle and then spin around. Can't use a basketball metaphor, but yeah. Just head for the center of the floor.
I'll take the right. York, you want to go to the left? When you go in, go to the left.
That is what my father used to tell me always. Go left, Bjork, go left. Left I go.
And you followed his advice?
Yes, I left home at a young age. But then I came back. So, I'm used to the left.
That's funny. I'm used to mine going to the right.
That's made in heaven.
That's a little bit.
All right. Do you give Glort the signal?
Who can pick? I know a little bit, but not much.
I can
had
assist.
good success in that last lock. I could attempt and maybe have you two aid me.
It's small. I don't know if both of us can help or not.
So GM, can Bjork and I assist, or just
Yeah, if you're on either
Bjork?
side of him.
Sweet.
So you could have 3 people by the door.
All right.
And then as Arya's doing it, Tao's going to kind of tap on him and chuckle a little bit.
Remember, a little bit to the right now.
All right. So you signal Glort.
Tao has to be in position, right? Tao's got to be moved up.
Okay.
Yep. And I guess we're all readying an action.
Yeah.
Like if the door, I mean, that might be a dumb idea, but it's kind of like maybe a surprise round we're hoping for. Like if the door opens even a little bit, a couple of us will try to charge in if possible.
Okay. Chubbs or Treha could ready an action, but you guys are going to be actively picking the lock.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Bones. That's a good point.
I also have
Maybe-
inspiration I can use, so I mean, maybe just one of you assists and the other readies an action.
Or we could stealthily open the door, and then hopefully, wait a few seconds, like 6 seconds, and then I don't know, maybe then we could act.
Oh yeah, if we stealthily open the door and then wait for the signal, and then that's when we open the door?
Makes sense.
They may hear us picking, so I think we need the distraction.
But like maybe we could, maybe we could see if we can stealthily open and just then charge once we can see what's inside. Unless if someone wants to have a ready to action, of course they can. If Trehan wants to just send a star knife in there at the fancy dress guy.
Throw it, step in.
Hey, it's a pretty ballsy approach, ballsy entrance.
Yeah.
Just on these poor children forced into working at a truck factory.
It's gonna be fun-footed, Trehan.
All right. So are you going to give the signal to Glort, or are you going to try and pick the lock first, or who's starting?
I think we agreed we would try to stealthily pick the lock, and then if we can get that open, then give the signal so we can charge in.
So if you want to do it stealthily, it's going to add to the DC, because you're going to have to go real
Alright.
slow and not make mistakes.
How loud would this lock even be?
I mean, it's pretty loud to be picking about. Though you do hear some commotion inside, because they're clearly working in there.
You do have a pretty dang good pick lock, but
Yeah, I have that, and my inspiration should be a pretty good minimum, even with a poor roll. Wouldn't necessarily pick it, but
Yeah.
I suppose I haven't used it for the day. I always have the ability to re-roll once a day a skill check.
Could
I
be.
think we're pretty loaded.
Okay. So you're gonna
Nuts.
pick it without having Glort make the commotion?
I don't know if
Yeah,
there's a
we'll do
reason
that.
we do, but yeah, I guess it makes sense.
Okay.
Because they might make them within a round or two, or
Okay. So you guys
All right.
roll your aid checks to see if you give him a bonus 2. Tau does not aid, nor does Bjork. Oh no, Bjork! Bjork rolled a 1.
Thankfully, that's an 8, though, right?
Nope, you need a 10.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's just on
anyone
the
my
aid.
part does not affect the
Yeah,
actual...
you didn't break the lock.
Yeah, I just give him the worst advice.
Yeah.
Like,
You keep telling him to go to the left.
back
Right.
in my day, I used a blade of grass.
All right, here we go. Oh, damn.
All right, and are you adding inspiration to that?
I'll add inspiration just because we don't want to mess this up, so I want to make
Okay.
sure we can get it right. So 3 addition to that.
All right, so a 32, and you feel yourself slowly picking the lock, and everyone roll a perception. I guess if you got over like a 15, call it out.
25?
26.
20.
Nice. Okay, that's good enough to hear. Hey! What the hell is that rat doing in the backyard? Did someone unlock him? What the hell? Get the rat! Get him chained up in the front again! And there's all sorts of commotion going on inside, just as the door is unlocked.
and we have to say the code, or do we have to yell anything like "Hey, oatmeal"?
Well,
Yeah, we have to yell oatmeal as the signal.
yeah. It sounds like someone had been looking out the window and just saw oatmeal in the backyard.
One,
So what do? The door is unlocked. Seems like you did it pretty stealthily, but now there's commotion going on inside.
Tubbs, say oatmeal. Not too loud.
Oatmeal.
And with that, Glort and Oatmeal start rampaging about in the backyard, and you hear all sorts of squealing coming from Oatmeal. And they disappears into the backyard. You hear the back door being unlocked as there's footsteps running around inside.
let's see. Maybe Tao says like he holds up a hand, like counting down from 5, like giving them one round, or like to all move and do things away from this door. So like giving it 5 or 6, or maybe we can peek in or something. But that's up to the person on the door handle would be Zario. But he's like, that's his, what he's recommending.
Yeah, I think give it a few seconds, let the commotion take effect,
Mm-hmm.
and then charge in. I don't think we peek at this point.
Okay, so you guys wait around. You hear a lot of footsteps inside. Then what?
Ario's going to step aside and let the bruisers go in first.
Treja steps up.
But well, I just have the Earthbreaker ready, I guess.
Okay.
I take Treya.
So you
Probably cast Blast before everyone went in.
okay.
Oh, great.
So you
Alright.
Bless me, bro.
you bless everyone, which is a +1 to attack and +1 to saves against fear. Chubbs, you go through the door.
Thank you for that. I feel 4 feet tall. I go.
Follow him.
All right, Chubbs, you step inside, and you see a workshop. See 2 young lads. It looks like they're still kind of working at the counters. You see the back door. It's wide open, and you hear commotion as someone's running around in the yard, and you hear oatmeal squeaking. And that's it. So yeah, lots of tables, huge vats, bunch of potions in various stages of completion all over the counters. There's all sorts of like herbs and spices being chopped up and mixed. Yeah, why don't we all roll for initiative?
Don't love that. Ouch.
All right. So, okay, you guys are all in. Boom. So you open the door. They look over and see you barging through the door, Chubbs. And the young lad that saw you before in the street is like, "Hey, didn't I tell you to scram, little kid? What the hell are you doing? Wait, how'd you get through the door?" So, Zario, you go first. 23.
All right. Zario is going to drink an extract and move up next to Chubbs, which is probably a mistake, moving next to Chubbs.
Yep.
I'm sure you'll be just fine. Unless he gets peckish. Chubbs, you're up. You got 2 young lads. They're both just standing by the counters. What do you do?
Okay. So you said that there's one that was talking. I don't know if I could see that, but I'm going to kind of go with my
Oh, sorry.
plan. I'm gonna
Chubbs
charge.
first. Chubbs up first. He's got 22.
Might be.
Yeah.
Might be. All about me, man.
Tao, you get ready, though. Who's got the higher initial? I think it's Treha, right?
But I rolled an 11.
Would you roll an 11? Oh. That's weird. I got you in there as a 22, but I'll put it in as 11. Treha, do you have a higher initiative bonus than Tao?
I've got 3.
What about you, Tao?
5.
What are you?
5.
Oh, okay. I take it back. So, no, you're correct. You are up.
Oh, for real? Okay. I'm going to stick with my plan then.
All right.
I'm just going to, like, legit charge in. I got my little short spear kind of casually, and I'm going to run up to this guy.
Okay.
And push him up against the wall.
Okay.
And where's Yargren? So I'm going to run in. I think I have the distance.
Yep. Roll a...
It's a flavor charge in a way.
Yeah, so you rush in there. Roll a CMB to see if you can grab him.
I'm going to the front. Let's see. Oh, I'm trying to get to it. You said a CMD, right?
CMB. Combat maneuver bonus.
CMD.
Yep.
You're right. I couldn't click on the other one, so I got it.
Okay, so you go to grab him, and he is squirrely. So he drops down out of the way. He's like, "No, stay back!" So you've got him pressed up against the wall. but don't have a hold on him. He's too quick.
Where's Yargren? We need to talk to him. Emergency.
Yeah, Yargren will talk to you. Just wait a moment. Treha, you're up.
Treha runs in, or more hobbles in, pulls out a star knife, and sticks it up at this guy. Just hold up your hands. As her hands shaking, holding up her star knife to him. Hold him up.
And he looks at you, feeble as you appear, and he is intimidated by your 18. So
it's a sharp-looking knife.
Yeah, exactly. You aren't so scary, but the knife is terrifying. So he holds his hands up in the air and he says, I don't want any trouble. I was just kidding before. That was just playing around. I was just trying to be tough. You know how it is.
Go, lady.
Well, just anyone that's outside and potentially causing trouble.
Oh, I'm causing trouble now.
And you stick him. All right, Tao.
She wants to.
Tao, do you have a weapon out?
What'd you say?
Do you have a weapon drawn?
I have I'm kind of pushing him against the wall a little bit with my short spear.
Oh, okay. So you do have a weapon drawn. Because he grabs at his belt and he pulls out a small vial and he goes to ingest it. So you can do an attack of opportunity if you want.
It would be difficult for me. I'm trying to think if I could wrestle it out of him. I might be stronger than this guy. Can I do a perception? I don't know if I could do that instead of an attack with my free hand or.
You could try it. You could just do it as a CMB. But
against his CMD.
Against his CMD, yeah. But he's pretty wily. He's a rascally little fella.
Right. All right.
If he manages to hit him, would it knock the vial out of his hands?
It might.
Or would he still? Okay.
Yeah, depends on how hard he hits him.
Gotcha.
What were you saying, Bjork? Is that if I could target him a little bit,
Oh, if you're able to hit him with an attack of opportunity, it might dislodge the vial that he has.
Yeah. Yep.
You could go for
All
a disarm, but that's just another CMB.
Yeah. I'm going to try to stick him maybe in his shoulder and his side.
Okay.
We've seen this playbook before.
Shoot. 8. No. He ducks underneath where you stab, and you stab into a melon on the counter, and your spear's kind of stuck fast for just a moment, and that's all he needs to snort. And a horrible transformation goes over his body. You've seen it many times before, but he becomes a horrific bird-like humanoid. And after his snort, which is a move action, then he gets one attack, and he tries to bite your leg with his beak. That's a 17? Is that a hit?
Probs. Actually, just looking over my... Oh, yeah, 17, you said?
Yeah.
It exactly. Unless we have any plus. I don't think we have anything currently, and I haven't done any, anything.
Okay. So, just a little bird beak action. 3 points of damage, just kind of claws into your... or bites into your leg. Just a little bit. Bjork. Things are starting to turn hairy. What do you do?
A little bit. He's gonna start running inside, and he'll look towards the back. Is it just the one door that people went out through outside?
Just this one door right here.
And is that still open?
Yep, still open. So now that you're kind of looking out it, you can see a little more into the yard.
He'll book it. Does that one have locks on it and stuff and all that?
It does.
Can he book it over there and shut the door and lock it? Is that 2 actions?
Let's see.
Is that,
move.
2 turns,
You could move and shut it. You wouldn't be able to lock it in the same turn. If
He
you,
will
yeah.
move and shut it then.
Okay.
I think if we can prevent more people coming inside, that'll help.
Okay, so you see a little bit of the madness going on in the backyard. You see Oatmeal's running about, and two of the young lads are trying to chase after him. But he keeps escaping them, trying to grab it. All right,
Nice.
and then you shut the door. So now you can no longer see anything that's going on out there. Boom. Nicely done. Okay. Chubbs. What do you do?
Okay, there's I was about to say Desna. Treha has the one popper subdued. Are they poppers?
She has a knife at his throat, but not subdued.
Okay. I'm just wondering if I want to try to go lock the door.
Yeah.
I feel like
If you moved and you could use a move and then an action to lock.
put me so far away from that bird monster thing. Yeah, we're gonna do that.
All right. So you move up to the door lock, and it's locked. All right. Nicely done.
It's,
The lad, he looks over what you're doing. He says, "Oh, no. You shouldn't have done that." Treha, you can do an attack of opportunity if you want, because he goes for a vial at his side.
Oh no. Yeah, I guess you will.
Cut him. Oh, no.
No.
Natural 1. Roll to confirm. Fortunately, his AC's terrible right now. Okay,
Oh,
not...
come on.
yeah, not a critical failure. Because you rolled a crit on the confirmation. Nice. He...
I should try to do a normal hit.
Yeah, snorts his vial and lets out a horrible howl as you see him transform into a horrific canine figure before you. Ow! And then he goes for a bite on your arm that you tried to stab him with. Nowhere close. That's a 15. Get that noise out of here. Okay. Well done. With that, you hear a thud on the door as it sounds like someone's trying to open it, and you hear, "What the heck? Who locked this door?" And you hear a commotion in the bedroom off to the side. And you hear the telltale sounds of skin erupting and a horrifying roar. Roar. And instead of the door just opening, it bursts off its hinges. And a large creature squeezes through the doorway. And you see a giant... It's a large by size lion humanoid bursting out. And that's where we're going to stop for this week. So you have a little bird monster, a wolf monster, and a large lion humanoid to contend with. And you've locked everybody else outside with Oatmeal and Glort. Nicely done.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, at least we saved Oatmeal and Glory, even if we all die.
They might be able to get free.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm glad we stocked up on potions and healing stuff.
And let's see. Whose idea was it to... Oh, it was... Let's see. I'm going to give Bjork, Chubbs, and Zario all bottle caps. You've all got inspiration to add to your sheet.
Nice.
For the plan to have a distraction in the back and to get in and lock the back door because you have locked most of your combatants outside. this would have been a much more deadly encounter if they were all here at one time.
Well done, guys. That was good.
Now we're just locked inside with a giant monster.
Yeah. I'm sure
The
you'll be
bottle
just...
cap gives us, is it 1 point of inspiration to any roll?
So it's like a bit of luck. You roll twice, take the better of the result.
Got
But you have
it.
to save before you roll. So
Oh, you have to announce it before
Yeah.
you roll?
Yep, you say like I want to turn in my hero point or inspiration for this moment, and then you roll twice.
Cool.
So save it for a good roll. Yeah. All right.
Can we use the better of the two if
Yeah.
it's not so great the second time? Okay.
Yep. You get the higher of the two rolls, whichever one's higher. All right. I'll pause here. I think we're all good to go. Anyone got any questions?
Yeah.
Chubbs wants to be as big as that lion. You can do it. Just do all the drugs.
Want to be the biggest fish on land. That was always the dream.
Yeah, secrets to uncover next time.
I was gonna say too. I think we only have the one wand, right? Because I see a magic missile.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I assume that's with Treha. I was just curious. I just was accounting for stuff.
I didn't know if anyone had claimed that yet, which is why it's still on the sheet.
Yeah. It should,
Yeah, she can't use it.
yeah, so whoever's got the highest UMD and wants to cast a magic missile. Is that you?
You said Treha doesn't have that?
I don't think you have
No,
UMD.
she can't use magic missile.
Yeah. So no UMD for you yet.
Oh. Yeah, I guess I don't have UMD either.
Does anyone?
An 8.
That's not too bad. You
Yeah.
should,
I
you have
think
to,
I need would I need a 20?
Yeah,
Is that one of
20.
the ones I need?
to activate it.
Okay. One day in the future,
Yeah.
or in a stitch effort. I was just curious. Just wanted to.
I guess, Tao, you've got the wand for now then.
Okay.
Alright, I'll
'Cause-
take it off the list.
Not
Yeah.
on anybody's list.
Yeah, you're the only one that can even attempt to use it right now.
Okay.
It only shoots one missile, though. So, yeah. But it's force damage, which is nice. Automatically hits.
A little baby.
Yeah, a little baby missile.
More of a pocket rocket. Oh man, we're gonna need a Zario Raptor to take down this cat.
Well, there is that option. You guys have a ton of shiver on you.
We could have all have our own little anime transformation sequence.
Oh yeah, I'm sure the Dungeon Master has like a Cronenberg abomination for one of us.
If you're all standing close enough and you do the shiver together, then you all turn into
my
one
gosh.
creature.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, Voltron it.
Yeah.
The head of a shark, the legs of a pig, and the claws of a raptor. We don't know what the other guys might be.
Oh, true. Wow.
Time
Y'all
for
are-
Tao to take a shot. A little bump.
Little bump. I
I
mean,
suppose that
yeah.
would have been the danger of accidentally striking their vials while they were going to drink them. You could have shattered them and then inhaled it yourself.
whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of little bits of shiver all about. But you guys are holding like 40 doses of shiver, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Meticulously cleaning the streets.
One line at a time.
Yeah, we have so much extra loot. I don't know if our hippogriff's carrying it or what.
Yeah,
Grab our unnamed hippogriff. Right.
yeah. You still gotta figure out the hippogriff. And
Charlie?
what were they doing with oatmeal? Why were they poisoning poor oatmeal? So many questions. All right. Well, we'll call it there. Catch you next week.